Hi, I have been seeing all the cute fall decor at the stores, and this is an example of something I saw at Walmart. I'll show you a picture here. And when I saw it, I thought that would be really fun to try out and try to crochet. So this is the one I made, and I will share with you how to make your own. Let's get started. I have my first two pumpkins completed. I have my base large bottom pumpkin and my top pumpkin. This top one, I wanted to use this yarn because I really like the color of it. And I wanted to use it on its own, but it had some really thin pieces and thick pieces. And in order to crochet, I added this white color with it. So it looks kind of marbled. Which really wasn't the look I was going for, but it still looks cute. But now I'm going to demonstrate how to make the middle pumpkin. I'm going to use this tan color, and basically how you make all the pumpkins is the same, you just do different amounts of, your rows are different lengths, and the amount of rows you do are different, but the method is still the same. So I will show you how to make the middle-sized pumpkin and then let you know the rows and stitch amounts you need to make the larger one and the smaller one. So I'm going to grab my size 5mm crochet hook, and I will show you how to crochet these pumpkins. I am going to begin by chaining 32. Then I am going to begin double crocheting into the chains, starting with the third chain from my hook. So here's this one, 2, and then here's the third chain. And I'm going to double crochet into each chain. So I should end this row with 30 double crochets. So here is the first row completed. I did 30 double crochets into the chains, and now I'm ready for my next row. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to turn my work, and essentially we are going to create a rib pattern. And so to do that, you crochet into your back loop only. And so I will yarn over, ready for my double crochet. And if you see here, you have 2 loops when you create a stitch, and we are going to work into the back loop only. So I stick my crochet hook under only the back loop, and then I complete my double crochet. And that is just what we're going to do for this entire piece, is work into the back loop only. Each time we'll turn our work for a new row. Each row should have 30 double crochets. And we are just working in the back loop only, so we have that rib effect. And we are going to do, for this middle pumpkin, the medium-sized pumpkin, we are going to do 32 rows of double crochet in the back loop only, 30 double crochets in each row. So I'm just going to keep working this pattern, and I'll show you kind of a little quickened time lapse of me working on chunks of this rib stitch double crochet for the pumpkins, and then I will meet you at the end to show you how to form it into a pumpkin. Okay, I have finished the panel for the middle-sized pumpkin, and I did chain 32, and then I did a rib pattern of 32 rows, and each row was 30 double crochet stitches. So that was for the middle one. For the smaller one, you chain 22, and then you make, I have to double check, you make 24 rows of the rib pattern, which would be 20 double crochets back loop only each row. And then for the large pumpkin, I'll just zoom you out a little bit. For the large pumpkin, I did chain 40 and then 42 rows of the rib stitching, which would be 38 double crochets back loop only in each row. So that's how the difference is in the pumpkins. Now I'm going to show you how to form it into the pumpkin. We are going to slip stitch the two edges together. So I'm going to chain 1 from my last stitch, and I'm going to bring the pieces together, but I still want to slip stitch into the back loop only, because then it makes it so you don't really see the edge. If you look at this one that's done, you can't really tell where my edge was. So we want the same for this pumpkin. So we will slip stitch the pieces together, back loop only, and then here this was just the other side of the chain. And then I will pull the yarn through and finish my slip stitch. So I'm just going to go all the way down, back loop only, and then into the chain from the beginning, and just slip stitch this whole side. So here it is. This is the outside of our pumpkin. This side, like we were crocheting like this, and this is just the right side. So next I'm going to stitch up the holes to close it up. So we are going to cut off a really long tail and then use a needle to cinch it up and then sew up the hole. Now that I have the bottom sewed tightly closed, I'm going to go ahead and stuff it so that it keeps its form and it's nice and fluffy. I have cut a long string of yarn in the same color that I just crocheted with, And now I'm going to close up this hole, but I wanted it a little longer because we are going to go back and forth to kind of give it this pumpkin shape, so we need a little more yarn than we did when we closed up the bottom. So I start from the inside and come out. This is just how I choose to attach the yarn. And I make a knot onto the edge. And then I'm just going to cinch it up the same way I did the bottom and sew it up the same way I did the bottom. So here it is all sewn together, and now to give it more of a pumpkin look, we are going to take our string and we're just going to thread it through the bottom and the top over and over again, pulling the string tight so it gets pulled in on itself. The more times you do it, the more you'll be able to see the form. Like after this one right there, you can kind of tell it. But you want to go back and forth a couple of times to really make sure that it's holding its form and it's staying pulled in on itself. I still have quite a bit of yarn left from what I was doing with this, so I'm going to go ahead and attach my 3 pumpkins together. I'll start with the smallest one first, and just like I did to make the pumpkin head its form, I'm going to go straight from the bottom to the top, and then I'm going to attempt to come right back down again, this time going through 2 pumpkins. So let's see if I can do that. Trying to find the needle. Just don't know if the needle's long enough to poke through. There we go. It did. Woohoo! So there we go. Now those are attached. And now let's attach it to this one. Go. Alright. I'm going to attempt to come right back up through them. We'll see how this goes. Because I want it on there tight. So, let's see if I can get it back up through the top. There's that. Alright. There we go. They are all attached. So now I'm going to just kind of make sure this string stays. So I'm going to try to knot it. And this top part will be covered up with a stem that we'll make here in a minute. Okay, and then I like to take my tail and poke it back through and out the edge of something, because I feel like it kind of helps the yarn stay because it goes through the stuffing, and it's just kind of like another layer of securing the string. So there we go. Now that they're all together, I'm just gonna kind of move them around to try to give them the form I want them to have. But I got my 3 pumpkins and they are stacked. And now it's time to make the stem. All right, we're going to make the stem now. I'm going to make a magic ring. And then I am going to single crochet 5 single crochets into the ring. Chain 1, and then make 5 single crochets into the ring. And I'll pull the tail tight and make a slip stitch into the first single crochet. There we go. Then I will chain 1, and then I'm just going to work in around making single crochets until the stem is as long as I want it to be. So I won't have an edge, just kind of working in the round, going around and around until the stem is as long as I want it to be. Now that I have it the length that I want it, I am going to go ahead and just slip stitch into the next stitch, and then I'm going to cut my yarn off, but I want to give myself a tail because I'm going to sew it onto the top pumpkin. So here it is, the final 3 stacked pumpkin crochet. I really like how it turned out. It's pretty quick, honestly, and it's fun to know that you made it yourself, you know? You could also easily do this with like a thrifted or pre-loved sweater. If you just take the sleeves, you can kind of do the same concept of how we did these, where you cinch up the holes and stuff it, and then you can make your own that way. You don't have to crochet it. But I really like how it turned out. I always try to use colors I have on hand. I really wanted to do more like mustards and orange and those types of fall colors, but I don't want to waste what I have on hand. So I went through and found what I had, and I used those colors, and I think they look pretty cute. I am going to list this in my Etsy shop, and that video of what is in my Etsy shop will be coming soon. I just really want to make sure I do justice for that video and really show you all the things that we have, and I really want to do a giveaway with that. So I just want to make sure I have it all together and it's just right. But let me know in the comments below any other fall crafts that you think would be fun, any dupes, and that I can try out, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!
If you would like to see more, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell so you don't miss a video.